Christopher Newport ended Salisbury's run of 17 straight CAC titles last season with a drama-filled championship triumph in the captain's first year in the conference.
Balls 2 strikes, 1 out. Here's the pitch, and there's a shot. Left center field. Taylor Dillow deep, and it is gone. A walk-off home run for Taylor Dillow, and the Captains win it in the 8th inning by a score of 3-2. And here comes Dillow as she is surrounded by her teammates, and the Captains celebrate their first Capital Athletic Conference championship in their very first year as a league member.
Both CNU and Salisbury earned NCAA tournament bids and rolled through their respective regionals with unblemished 3-0 records, setting up another showdown in the best-of-3 NCAA Super Regional round with a spot in the NCAA World Series on the line. The Seagulls outlasted the Captains 6-4 in Game 1 and 8-7 in Game 2, sending Salisbury to the World Series for the second straight year and the 8th time in program history. The Seagulls advanced all the way to the championship series before falling to Tufts, finishing the year as the national runner-up. Now let's take a look at what's in store in CAC softball in 2015 as we count down the preseason poll along the way.
All of our girls are pretty new, and we're new, obviously, so I think one of our big goals is just trying to get to know each other and kind of have them learn my coaching style and what I expect for them, different expectations that maybe they're not used to help build the program that we're kind of trying to get out of them and what we're trying to build here. And I think that from doing that, we're just trying to get the girls better. Some of our girls are brand new, and so we're just trying to work on the basic fundamentals and see that success of every day getting better and better and better. And that's kind of our main focus for this year. So we don't have very many girls returning. When I got here, there wasn't very many returning. We do have one that's returning, and she was also here in the fall, and so I'm pretty familiar with her, and she's been a great asset to us in being able to kind of show what they've done in the past and how we can build on that and bring it into like a brighter future. And so that's been kind of cool. Some of the other girls we just got this semester coming off of a mission and being her last semester, so she just came back for her last semester. And so we're really excited to work with them and see kind of what they can bring to the team and their leadership and that kind of thing. Being from Arizona, I wasn't too familiar with some of the schools back here, but since I've been out here, I've been researching and I've been talking to people, and I think that it's really cool that we are in the CAC. I've found that it's very respected, especially in Division III, that it's one of the toughest conferences that there is in softball, and so we're pretty excited about that because we're competing against the best, and the only way to get better is to compete against the best. And so we're really excited to, see what those teams have and how we can kind of adjust our play in order to compete at their level. So we're pretty excited about the competition level that we have. I'm from Arizona. I played softball all growing up, and I played at Phoenix College. And when I was there, we won a national championship at Phoenix College, so that was kind of exciting. And then I got a scholarship to go on and play at Southern Utah University. So I played there for 2 years. I was a catcher. And then I actually stayed on for another year and helped coach, and I was in charge of pitching and catching, and I also helped with hitting a little bit while I was still doing my student teaching and that kind of thing. Once I was done with that, then I came back down to Arizona, and I got a job at Liberty High School, which was a new high school in Arizona. So I was able to start the softball program pretty much from the beginning. So we were able to build something kind of from the ground up, and from the time I was there, we kind of worked hard and got our girls all set and ready to go, and we actually made it to the state championship while I was there, and that was kind of fun to see like that building of girls and being able to see the success that we kind of built there. So that was kind of cool. And then I really wanted to coach college, and I was looking for the jobs, and this just seemed like the right fit, and so here I am.
Our goals and expectations for the season are to play consistently, play aggressively, to take it one pitch and one out at a time, and obviously, as any team, has this goal to make it to postseason. We lost some key leadership last year, but I like to focus on what we have and not what we had or what we don't have. This year's team is full of newcomers, and we have a core of our returners back, so I'm pretty excited to see how they come together and where they go. Our newcomers are very talented, very aggressive, and are very anxious to get on the field. I don't really want to single out any individuals because softball is a team sport, and we really try to focus on a one-team approach. I think we have a challenging and well-balanced schedule this year. Each game should prepare you for your next opponent, and I think they did a great job with that. Outside of spring break, which is kind of luck of the draw, I think they did an excellent job giving us a good competitive schedule.
Goals and expectations are that we're going to really try and stay present and in the moment this year. In past years, we have really looked at the end goal, and we really want to just focus pitch by pitch, day by day on what we need to do in order to achieve the goals that we want to. We really want to make playoffs, and in order to do that, I think that the biggest key is to be present. We set goals every week. We go over those goals every week as a whole team. And everybody's really invested in that and excited about it. And, when these girls are achieving their goals week to week, that's keeping them invested and in the moment. And I think that's really where we need to be. I'm returning all of my starters, so I don't have anyone, a specific kid that I can say X, Y, or Z are really going to be the impact kid. I've got 9 of them. I've got 9 veteran returners that are starters, that know how to compete, that are hungry, that have been working hard in the weight room and on fitness, and just really dedicated and devoted. Our pitching staff has greatly improved. They've spent time over the summer, really dedicating time to get better. So I'm excited about where they're at. Both of my returning pitchers are really doing a great job. So just really excited. We've got great leadership, and our captains, Morgan Seymour, Bree Hartman, Kayla Frommel, have just always done such a great job for us, being positive, role models, working hard. So we're excited about where we're at. We've got 3 kids that I think are really going to make an impact. They're kids that we really needed in order to step to the next level. 2 of them are utility players, which include pitching, which are Lauren Hoffman and Destiny Davis. One is an outfielder, one is a middle infielder, things that we needed to add to our roster. And then Tiara Maddox, third baseman, very solid with the glove, has a great bat, I think is really going to impact the lineup as well. Yeah, this is the first year that I would say that this is fully my team, which is really exciting. It's a point that I haven't been to in my coaching career. I'd always gotten to 3 years and then felt it was time to move on and do new things, and I'm really excited about this 4th year. They're all, my recruited players, which is exciting. The kids that were here before did a really great job for me and really bought into what we were doing, but I feel like these kids really understand, the concepts that I'm trying to instill and teach, and are just really invested in each other and me and our goals. So I think that that's a really great thing. We're playing 4 doubleheaders before we head down to spring training. One of those is to a Division II school, so I think that that's going to be something that the kids are excited about, that they want to do. And when we're down on spring training in Myrtle Beach, we've got some quality teams that we're playing that made the NCAA tournament last year, or were in the finals of their conference tournament, and so I think that those things are really going to help prepare us for the CAC. The CAC, it's always a big task. It's a fun task. I think that we're at a point where we can really start to compete. I now have some upperclassmen that have played for a couple years, and so I think that they understand what we need to do to win, and have been really focused on just staying present and understanding that, now is what is important. It doesn't matter what we do a week from now if we don't take care of now. And so they've really been doing a good job of trying to instill that into the underclassmen so that, when we get into conference play, if we have one bad at bat or we have one bad inning, that, that inning is now over and we're ready to move on. And I think that's something we haven't done in the past, and I think that they're ready to do that.
Well, last year we started off pretty fast, and we feel like we want to continue that success earlier this year. So our goal is to start strong and finish even stronger. We felt like we kind of teed it off a little bit towards the end of last season. So we want to try to maintain that consistency and finish stronger throughout the year. We have a very good nucleus returning, and the entire starting lineup, with the exception of maybe the shortstop, is not returning. In the outfield, we have 3 of the players who spent most of all the time in the outfield, and we have one newcomer, Caroline Callahan, who we expect will contribute immediately. In the infield, we have our shortstop, second, and first base returning, and the newcomer will be Zoe Patrick, who didn't play a lot last year, but saw some playing time and is quite capable of fulfilling that role at shortstop. Our catching position is solid, and we're returning those starters, and the mound looks good as well. Key returners, obviously we're returning our pitcher, our starting pitching staff is back. Our probably 1, 2, 3 hitters are back. We're looking at Brittany Sykes at third base. We're looking for big things from her. She's a returning all-conference player. So is Hannah Otterman, who is returning as an all-conference player. We're expecting big things from her off the mound. We're expecting big things from Brittany at third. Emily Briggs at first base. We're expecting her to be big there as well. Alex Tenney at second base. We're expecting strong things from her as well. Olivia and Brittany Haynes from behind the plate. They will give plenty of work behind the plate. Yeah, we have quite a few players that are coming into the program for the first time. We're expecting big things from Malia Rogers, who can play third for us. She can also play short for us. Hannah Hart can play first or second, and she may get out in the outfield a little bit. Courtney Merson came in as a right-handed pitcher, so we're expecting her to contribute as well. But she also may see some time at first base and in the outfield. In conference, the Capital Athletic Conference has been really, really top-heavy in recent years. This year, I believe, from top to bottom, we're going to be quite strong. So I'm looking forward to every game that we play is going to be a challenge. We're looking forward to that challenge, and that's our goal, is to make sure that we are competitive in each one of those games. So the conference, I believe, is going to be very, very strong. Obviously, there's Salisbury, CNU. York, I believe, is going to be extremely strong. Wesley has snuck up on some people in the past, not this year. I think they're going to be strong as well. Our non-conference schedule is also quite competitive. We're playing some of the teams that have been considered or have participated in a national tournament. So like our conference schedule, we're looking to be challenged every time we're out on the field. So we know it's going to be a tough year. We also know how fast we got off, how fast we started last year. And again, we want to continue that throughout this year and finish strong.
Goals and expectations looking at this season. We obviously have had the conversations about making it back to the conference tournament, having improved results at that conference tournament, moving on in the postseason, and I think all of those have been realistically discussed as a team, but our focus and our priority is on the day-to-day improvements of getting better, working on the fundamentals, being prepared to approach each and every game the same regardless of the opponent. We've done a lot of work to stay true to the process of what it is, and that is each and every day making those fundamental improvements so that we're ready to approach the games that are on our schedule and give us the best chance to be successful. Basically, we're taking this season one day at a time. As young as we are, we're really looking at improving on the fundamentals and the basics, and as a team we need to work on cohesiveness, and we work on getting this team together and focusing on what we feel is going to get us the best chance to be successful. I absolutely think that being as young as we are, really getting them to grab onto this new culture that's been established and getting them to really buy into a process rather than the stress of which opponent we're facing that day. Really preparing to have the same exact approach and being fundamentally sound in doing so gives them a better opportunity to acclimate themselves here when they're being freshmen at college. They have enough to worry about rather than putting that added stress of, oh, we're facing the number 2 team in the nation today. We're going to go out and we're going to play each and every game the same way regardless of the opponent. We have all of 4 key returners this year, and all 4 of them have really taken on a leadership role for us. Our lone senior, Vanessa Mendez, she will be looking to do the share of her time behind the plate. We have our lone junior, Peyton Hill, and Peyton was a first-team all-conference selection as a freshman, battled through some injury last year. She rehabbed from an arm surgery. She is now back and healthy. We're going to expect her to swing a good bat for us in the DP spot. Sophomore Katie Maloney. She was CAC Co-Rookie of the Year last year. She's a stellar defensive player, led in every offensive category that York softball had except for one last season. She has come back with even a bigger fire in her gut, ready to get going, continue the success that she's had. And Carly Ruhlman rounds out the field of returners. She's a sophomore, and she has been doing amazing work in the off-season. She's come back bigger, stronger, faster. She has gotten about 2/10 faster on the base paths due to her diligent work. And we're really looking for her to maintain her starting position at first base, but not only that, to bring her power at the plate to the forefront this season. Of course, we have 13 freshmen and 2 transfers right now, and throughout the fall season and even through the off season now into our preseason, there has been some noticeable talent that has emerged from that group. And there's a lot of promise to the entire group, but there really has been some that stand out. We have our local talent from Lancaster, Courtney Martin. She has been just throwing the ball so well, has taken over the leadership role in the circle for us as a freshman. She also has 3 freshman counterparts that will look to assist her and support her in the circle as well this year. Meg Martin is from New Jersey. She has really the most fluid swing I have seen in a long time, with tremendous amount of power. Her sure-handedness with her glove is going to do a nice job for us. She plans to start at second base. And we also have a couple Maryland natives, Maddie Fitzgerald and JC Cristiano, who come in with a ton of outfield experience. And their track on the ball, as well as their power and disciplined approach at the plate, is going to be a tremendous help for us. And I would probably say Carly Hill, who's a freshman and also the younger sister of Peyton Hill, coming in with a ton of energy and very good glove, looking to play the hot corner for us, as well as sharing some time in the circle. And she has a real strong bat to go along with it. So I definitely have felt that they have emerged, maybe most of the group so far, but there is certainly a lot of good, healthy competition going on every single day with this group. Few of the positions are still up in the air at this point, and they're doing a nice job of battling that out day in and day out. We're just hopeful to have that strong 1 through 9 set for when we break out for that first doubleheader in Florida.
Our goals are the same every year, to make the NCAA tournament. The expectations are high. The last 5 years we've been in the CAC, we've either finished second or third. So with Salisbury and CNU, it's tough, but you know, we think we're right there with them. So our goal is to make the NCAA tournament. Obviously, the biggest key loss is Caitlin Lovin. She was a 4-time All-Conference player. She holds about every record we have offensively. From a leadership standpoint, it'll be a big loss as well. So having her in the middle of the order was huge, and not having her is going to be bigger. We also lost 2 starters in the outfield, Bailey Ellsworth and Savannah Hose. So replacing them will be tough, but not as tough as Caitlin. Key returners. We have a couple all-conference players. First would be Renee Abel. She's played some third base and first base for us. She's had some really strong offensive years. Last year she was sick towards the end of the year, so her numbers fell off a little bit, but expect her to be back towards where she was freshman year. We also had a freshman in Hannah Tavik who led our team in hitting. Also won, I want to say, 13 games in the circle for us, so that'll be huge. And also, we have our entire infield back. So Lauren Capis at third, and then Megan Tracy and Emily Zengel in the middle. So key newcomers. We have several freshmen: Ray Harrison, Sam Gatton, Nicole Dorgan, Allison Short, all see some playing time. We have a couple of transfers. Hannah Stringer and Emily Harvey will see some time in the outfield. So it'll be a good mix. We have about half and half newcomers, half returners. So it'll be a good mix of kids. So obviously, our conference is tough. CNU and Salisbury played in the Super Regional last year. Both teams were technically ranked in the top 10 to finish the year. So it's always an uphill battle. Out of conference, we have a couple of tournaments early on in the season, which are tough. Virginia Wesleyan, which is also usually ranked in the top 15, top 10. So it's good for us. It's a good challenge for us. Obviously, we spend the first half of our season on the road. So our first home game isn't until March 23rd, I think, this year here. So hopefully this snow is gone. But it's always a challenge. We play so many games on the road. It's good from a team camaraderie standpoint, but it's hard to always be living in a hotel. So schedule-wise, you know, it's a little bit, non-conference-wise, it's a little bit, some hard, some easy kind of games, but so it should be a good challenge for us.
I mean, really our goals are like any other season right now. It's really just to do the best we can to prepare each day, maximize each day that we do have with the team, and make sure on their off days that they're doing what they need to do. You know, ultimate goals is to win a national championship. I mean, we don't make any, you know, hesitance or pauses or anything as far as really making that known. You know, so, you know, we really just, that's what we have our eyes and our sights on, you know, to ultimately try to win a national championship. And, you know, all the things in between that has to go right, and the games that we have to get through to get there is not going to be easy. The journey's not going to be easy, but that's what we have to really challenge ourselves for, because if we don't, there's not a chance for us to get there. As far as key losses go, you know, shortstop position, Candace Zeiler, she's actually helping us coach this year. So she's bringing some of that leadership that she carried on the field, you know, back to everyday practices. Christina McLaughlin, you know, who was a big bat in the middle of our lineup, a consistent bat in the middle of our lineup the past 4 years. And, you know, from day one, she's been a, you know, main contributor, you know, near the top and middle of the lineup, and very, very steady right fielder for us. Taylor Dillow, who, you know, was a good bat off the bench for us, you know, and did DH quite a bit and filled in at second here and there. You know, 3, you know, big losses for us, but, you know, just like any other year, you know, returning players are going to have to step up. Freshmen are going to have to come in and have that ability to, you know, step in and fulfill those roles. Key returnees, I mean, we have quite a few, luckily. You know, we've got both catchers back last year who combined to really, you know, perform very, very well behind the plate and in the batter's box. First base, Sabrina Hill's back. She did have surgery at the end of the year, and is close to 100% right now, and she hasn't been 100% in the past year and a half. So we're really looking forward to her, really getting after it, this season, and has high hopes. Our second baseman, Tori Clark's back. Third baseman, Alexis Pope, and really all of our outfield as well. And we did lose a right fielder, but Kelly Fote's back for a fifth-year medical redshirt who went out first game last year. So we've got her back. Our center fielder, Megan Jones, Rachel Shiflett, who played left field in place of Kelly last year. We're sliding her over the right. Two of our top pitchers are back, Krista Lewis and Hannah Marshall, both combined for 30 wins last year. We did lose Michaela, decided to go ahead and focus on academics and not play softball this year. So that is a loss for us, but I'm very excited where Krista and Hannah are at right now. They're throwing the ball exceptionally well. We have some other key contributors that are back as well, but we've got a good group coming back, and majority of our lineup. Key newcomers, we have quite a few that are going to really come in and help us contribute as either starters or role players for us. We do have a void to fill at shortstop. We have two very good shortstop coming in this year. Both are big time impact players right away. So it's a good problem to have, but it's a dilemma. Which one are we going to play? Then we feel that we have to get the other one in the lineup too. So we're going to have to get creative a little bit and see how we work things that way. We do have a very good recruiting class as far as the outfield goes. So we're going to have some young depth there as well. Did have two transfers come in who are first team all-conference performers in the conference that they did come from. Both are going to really help us and be able to make some impacts for us as well. Schedule, with us, it's always, we try to make it as difficult as possible, and the conference is only going to be getting better. So some teams, that going into the conference unknown last year, we know more about them now, and knowing that they are going to only get better is going to be, a welcome challenge, for the conference as a whole. And there's always the teams that are, predicted near the top that we have to battle against, and hopefully, get through one of those steps to get to a national championship and be successful in our conference first. Beyond that, we start off with nationally ranked teams right out the gate, going down to Georgia and playing Emory and Fontbonne down there. Then we, get back home and play Virginia Wesleyan, and all three teams were ranked in the top 25 last year, and two are preseason in the top 20. So it's going to be fun. It's going to really see what we're made of and see what direction we need to go as far as our preparation as we go through the season.
We want to get back to the national championship. There's no question about that, and certainly win the conference tournament. I know there's a lot of teams in front of us that have the same aspirations, but they are definitely our goals. Well, we lost 5 seniors, Harley Hill, Angelia McDowell, and Virginia Walther, Molly Gigioli, and Catherine Larson. So 5 big losses. And we also lost our 4-year manager, Nicole McClaskey, who is a great person on our team also. So, sometimes we forget the people that are behind the scenes, and she did a great job for us. Can we replace them? We don't want to replace them. We want new people to come in and do wonderful things. But, Catherine, I think, had 2 stellar years on the mound for us. Harley was a 4-year starter. Molly, great runner, played some tough D, had some key hits. Angelia, super defensively, always a threat to get on base. And Virginia, our bullpen catcher, who really groomed our pitchers before games and then came in with some big pinch hits for us. Well, we return a lot, so we're very fortunate. We return our entire infield except for Harley Hill. So we'll have Becca Hoey, and then we have Kay Sabane, Kim Dorsey, Molly Simpson are all coming back for us in the infield. Had some pretty big bats in there, as well as good defensive players. Paige Knussman, who I feel was maybe the top hitter in the country, is back as maybe a DP, but she may be the new first baseman. We're trying to figure that one out right now. And then we return Angela Malgieri in the outfield and Rachel Spade in the outfield. And then let's see, I think there's one more. Oh yeah, Rachel Johnson returns too. So this will be Rachel Johnson's 4th year, and she's got some great goals that fit right in with our team goals. You know what? We had a D1 transfer, a local young lady who I recruited heavily, but she decided to take a different route and has come back to us, wants to be a little closer to home. And so we have Anna Jo Brittingham. We're real happy to have her on board on our pitching staff. And we have another pitcher, and we'll leave her name out of it right now. She's an up-and-coming. I think she's going to do very well for us. And boy, we have some freshmen that are just tough. And probably the one that has been the most impressive at practice is Leanne Collins. She's just really crushing the ball. But Andy's doing pretty good, and Kristen, they're all doing very well, and great bat speed. This is a wonderful freshman class that we have, so I'm very happy with it. Well, I don't know who keeps making our schedule, but it seems to get tougher every year. Oh, that's me. Yeah, it's a pretty tough schedule out of conference. We play Piedmont the very first day, the second day, down at the Grand Slam tournament held down in North Carolina, and they finished up ranked in the top 25. But I don't want to overlook Wilson or North Carolina Wesleyan before we play Piedmont, as well as playing the host William Peace. And then we play some other great non-conference teams as Virginia Wesleyan. I know I'm going to leave somebody out. Washington College, Catholics on our schedule, Stevenson, all great programs. They have longevity in their coaching staff, so I expect our non-conference to be very tough. And we have our home tournament that has some teams in it too. We get to play Cortland again, so I think that makes our seniors pretty happy. Our seniors and juniors to get another shot at them while they're still here on the team. And certainly our conference schedule is a beast. I really feel our conference prepared us for the national tournament last year, and I think if you saw how we played in the national tournament, it's because our foes, but our conference foes prepared us for that. Well, they're certainly hungry, and they had a real quick taste of what it might be to win a national championship, and they like that. And so they have been really working very hard on improving their weaknesses, getting stronger, and if the first day and second day of practice are any indication, I think we're ready to battle all our opponents.